Where they gone?
You have to start
8,000.
starting with new people. I'm so tired today.
Hi, how are you? Well,
Hi, Al. It's Rev. It's your old pal Rev, Joe.
how you doing, Rafter?
Hi, Rafter. Hi, Rafter, man. Hi, Paul Greenwell. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of fighting. I don't know what to do anymore.
Hi, Ivan. How is everything?
Hi, Ivan. Hi, Paul Greenwell. Hi, RJ. RJ's in the house, Joe.
How you doing, RJ?
RJ just had knee surgery, Joe.
Oh, I wish you recover soon.
I wish you recover soon, too.
So
Valerie's here.
That's a knee surgery, a very terrible thing.
Joe,
Very painful.
how come you don't say hi to Valerie, Joe?
How you doing,
What's your
Valerie?
problem?
How is everything with you? I hope you have a nice vacation and then a nice weekend. And, we are actually freezing right again.
Hi, John Ramsey. Yeah, it's cold out today, Joe.
Yeah,
Our
it's
show
good.
doesn't start for 2 more minutes. I'm giving it behind the scenes. I'm showing you what happens in the wonderful world of news. Behind the scenes, 2 big YouTube stars.
How you doing, Imran? How is everything?
Imran?
What
Where the
happened
hell's
to
he
Imran?
been? I haven't seen Imran in
Okay.
about 3 years.
I think
I
he's,
think Joe's having a flashback.
I think he went back to India.
Hi, Lou.
How you
Look
doing?
who's here, Joe.
How you doing, Mr. Lou?
Joe assumes every person's a guy. So if your name is Sally, he's going to say, hi, Mr. Sally. It's a little sexist to be presumptuous, Joe. We're going to start the news here in 1 minute, folks. 1 minute. And by the way, if anybody calls today with the phrase that pays, you win $1,000. First of all, you got to call. If you call, sorry, Joe. If you call, if somehow you figure out this number, and then somehow you figure out the phrase that pays, you win $1,000. $1,000. Hey, Joe, last night I went partying at the salsa spot. We were salsaing all night long. Well, at least till 9:30 when I got tired and went home. At least till 9:30. Joe, you ready to start the news?
How you doing?
Judging by my extremely expensive, beautiful watch, it's time for the news. Let's do it.
How
Here's
you-
my thumbnail.
All right, go ahead, Mr. News.
Okay, Mr. News. Don Lemon. Say it ain't so, Don Lemon.
How you doing, Mr. Lennon?
Hi, Lennon. Hi, Lennon. Don Lemon is a
What is
TV
he?
host with CNN. He's been,
Is he in heat?
Is he in heat? Look at Joe. I think Joe likes him.
No.
He's Joe, do you like him?
Well, I like everybody.
Joe likes everybody.
Like everybody.
He, openly gay newscaster.
How you doing, Newcastle?
Hi, openly gay newscaster. Streaming with Vinny's here. My dear friend David Young's in the house. God bless you both. So Don Lemon, one of CNN's biggest stars. When what's-her-face did the what-you-call-it with the Who, you knew. With the lady, I forget her damn name, just said she was running for president.
Eddie?
Kaylee, whatever the hell her damn name is. Look at me. I'm tired. I don't know. He said that she was past her prime because she was like 51 years old. He said women pass their prime when they're 50. Let me tell you something. We don't do that on this channel. Women have no prime date, Joe. They're not Nikki Haley. Thank you, Iowa Oak. Nikki Haley has announced her bid for president. I won't vote for her, but God bless her. She's Donald Trump in a dress. That's what she is. just a female. Every policy he has, she has, and that's might be great for some of you, not for me. But when she decided to run for president, I can't even believe he did it. He's a gay black man who has been discriminated for his whole career and worked his way up to the top of the ranks. So he discriminates against a woman and says that women are past their prime when they're 50 years old, Joe. That's a horrible, horrible thing to say, and rightfully so. They demand his firing. They demand that he be fired. Now, I don't know if that's... I don't think he was being malicious. I just think he was being ignorant. You ready, Joe?
Yes. How was your weekend? Good?
My weekend was great, but today's the first day of the weekend, so it hasn't really started yet. But look at this, Joe. Look at that cute little pig. See that cute little pig, Joe? I know you like pigs.
Yes. What's his name?
His name is Elvis Pigsley.
Elvis Pigsley? Okay.
Yes. Police in Alaska rescued a pet porker named Elvis Pigsley from a frosty roadside after onlookers reported that a critter looked cold. So this poor pig is out in the middle of the damn Alaska, and the officers said they loaded the shivering swine into their cruiser, and he really brought home the bacon. This person should be fired for that joke.
No. You can't eat him after you said him.
They're not going to eat him. They're not going to eat him, Joe. As it turns out, the portly dude was quite friendly. You'll be happy to know he's been reunited with his family. He was a runaway, Joe. We're all familiar with refrigerated bacon. We just never thought we'd respond to a call for service. I get real tired of the bacon jokes. I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan. But Joe, I'll never ever let you forget you're a man.
That's my
Get it? Pick it up, Joe. That's your grandson. Are you crazy?
Hi, Momo.
Hi, Grandpa.
Hi, Momo.
I am on the show, Momo. I talk to you 4 o'clock. You can watch me on Boogie Bunch.
Hi, Momo. What's happening?
All right. Okay, man. Thank you for calling.
Joe's grandson. That was the special guest of the day, folks.
Yeah, last week was his birthday, if you remember.
What is he, 12 now?
Yeah.
Lucky kid's got the whole world ahead of him. Chile bird flu in mammals. Chilean health officials. Joe, where's Chile?
Chile is in South America, on the left side of Argentina.
Where's Argentina?
Argentina is way down South America. It's as big as Mexico, the size of Mexico.
Where's South America? Where's Mexico? All right, I'm sorry, Joe.
No, you don't know
I don't
Mexico.
know
You've been to Mexico.
I don't know nothing, Joe.
You
I ain't no snitch.
Joe Hernandez gets tired from you asking those questions. He's from Mexico.
Because his name Hernandez, he's from Mexico, Joe. That's crazy.
I think wherever he is a nice man. God bless him.
Well, Chilean health officials have detected the country's first case of highly pathogenic bird flu in a marine mammal after a 550-pound sea lion was found stranded on a northern beach with respiratory problems.
He must swallow a can of...
He might have swallowed something.
A bottle of whiskey. That's where they throw all this junk.
That's facts. Haley, what's her face? Nikki Haley has responded to Don Lemon. Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley said Friday that sexist attacks like the one launched by Don Lemon are very typical, and unfortunately it is. I have said for years, I'm very pro-women, Joe. Anything a guy can do, a woman can do. Plus, they can have babies. I ain't having no damn baby. I think it's really, really unfortunate. All right, we're going to get into some more. Oh boy, this came across my wire last night, Joe. I knew you wouldn't like it. Hi, Dave Young.
There was a shooting in Mississippi,
No,
and 6 people got killed.
that's a Jordan Joe exclusive. I have not heard it
Yeah,
yet.
that's a very, very sad story.
This one's tough, Joe. A 7-year-old girl was fatally struck with an SUV in Queens. The child was hit just before 6 p.m. Can you imagine the grief of her poor parents, her
How is she
family?
doing?
She's dead, Joe.
Ooh,
The girl was rushed to
God.
Elmhurst Hospital where she died. The child has been in the street when she was struck, according to the driver, stayed on the scene. God bless him. You know, Joe, 90% of these we read about, the driver left. And that's when they start looking at prison time. If you hit the child or you hit the person and you just leave. The child did stay on the scene. No arrests were made and police do not suspect any criminality. I'm not going to talk about...
Leave your children under your side. Don't leave them like that on the street.
Hunter Biden got a stable with some bad shorties. He's all over the place.
How you doing, Hunter?
Hi, Hunter. I don't know why they got that in here. I don't care. I don't care about Hunter Biden's bad shorties. Okay, this is a crazy, crazy story, bro. Look at this woman here, Joe. This is a teacher. Now, this is a very well-endowed teacher, female. And she has these monstrous quadruple H, massive, massive breasts. God bless her. But there's more to the story. Because that teacher is him. I understand if he's trans, or if he wants to dress as a woman, I got zero problem with that. I just don't know that he needs to be a teacher at a school with prosthetic breasts that are that monstrous and huge. Obviously, I think he's probably mentally ill.
Is he a man?
He is a male who was a trans teacher, or trans, I should say he's trans, I'm not going to say he's a male. A Canadian teacher who made international headlines for wearing gigantic prosthetic breasts. Rarely wears them outside of school. So he wears the breasts at school. This is his persona, this is how he, but when he's at home walking around the neighborhood, there he is. I don't understand. I totally understood if that makes him feel comfortable or happy to do in life. But if he does it just at school, I think there's something maybe more nefarious to it. I don't know. Get in the comments and let me know what you think,
I
guys.
tell you, teacher,
Not a hate. This is not a hate at all.
You teacher, you look ugly this way.
Well,
That's it.
Canadian transition teacher Kayla Lamu is out for a stroll this weekend, but without their controversial prosthetic breasts. I don't understand why you would have to have a Z. It's a Z cup. It's a Z cup. If that's what makes you feel great, I guess, I don't know. I just don't know why you'd only wear them at school. That sounds... I'm not going to judge
The
you.
student will make fun of me.
I think the students could certainly be triggered or certainly made fun of. But listen, he's trans. He wants to be trans. I mean, not he wants to be. If he feels trans, then God bless him. I support. We shall see. Well, stay tuned.
The student they're not gonna listen what he says. They're gonna ignore it. That's it.
Joe, we've been following the story of the Murdaugh family.
How you doing, Murdaugh?
Murdaugh
What happened
was
this
the
time?
biggest family in South Carolina, in their neck of the woods. Remember, Joe? His son, it was a man, a lawyer, his wife, and their 2 sons. And they ran the whole town with an iron fist. The one son got into a boat wreck and killed a girl and got off because his father was so powerful. He got off. Well, a year later, that son and his mother were murdered
By
on
their
the
father.
property, and it was a mystery. Who did it? Was it the girl who got killed, father, brother? Was it somebody else who was upset? No. Turns out, allegedly, it was the father who wanted insurance money and other things. Then the father took out a hit on himself, paid a guy to shoot him in the head, but he survived. That man was arrested. The father was arrested. Anyways, Murdaugh has been, it's all over Court TV if you guys want to see it. Alex Murdaugh's son approached his legal scions. I don't care. It's just too much. You would not believe the story if I didn't tell you. In fact, some of you right now go, I don't get it. It's insane. It's insane. I do want to take 2 seconds to talk about one of our dear Boogie Bob members, one of our very first Boogie Bob members. A lot of you have been asking, how's Michelle? Michelle McGraw is one of our dear friends here at the channel, my other channel. This is from the beginning. Well, her dog, Tiny, has passed away. And if you know anything about Michelle, you know that Tiny was her heart. And I send my deepest condolences to Michelle on the passing of her beloved Tiny. And I pray that all of you do as well. She can definitely use the prayers. Tiny was a beautiful little wiener dog puppy she had for years. And if you're an animal lover like Joe or I, Joe, when you lose an animal, it's like losing a child. It just rips, it hurts, it rips your heart out. And I told her the other night, just think of all the beautiful times you shared together, and may God heal you and hold you and comfort you. And I believe in the Rainbow Bridge, Joe. It says, when you die, God loves you so much. Of course, your animals, your pets, your children will be waiting for you when you cross that Rainbow Bridge. You believe that, Joe?
Yes.
I do too.
Well, get you another one similar to your beloved dog.
Get yourself another dog today, you'll be fine. That's Joe's thing.
Yes.
I say take your time, don't force anything. Just love and appreciate the love that you shared for so long.
You can't forget it. It was in it's part of your life.
Absolutely.
You spent many years with you, so just take another baby dog and start all over again.
When you're ready, there's another dog or cat out there who wants your love just like your last one did, and
Well,
can't replace excuse me,
well,
can't replace what you had, but you can definitely go on to a new chapter in love again, and hopefully that's what happens.
Yes.
The father of this beautiful suicide girl, the 14-year-old girl who took her life in New Jersey, Joe, the father is suing the school district. That's no shocker here, of course. His daughter went to school. She was beat up, brutally beaten by other girls, maybe some guys. I don't know the whole story. Joe, to add salt to the injury, they put the video online on TikTok. It was seen by millions of people. She was humiliated beyond belief. She took her own life. I can't imagine being 14 and being that hurt to where you take your life. I was in very similar circumstance. I've told the story on my channel before. When I was 18, I was going through a lot. I told my mom that I wanted to take my life. And my father, who was an avid gun collector, he collected since he was a boy, had dozens of guns that meant something to him in the house. The next day I got home and every gun was out of the house.
That's a good thing.
Every gun was out of the house.
Yes, that's a good
I
thing.
said, Dad, what'd you do with your guns? He said, there will never be another gun in this house.
At my time, there was no student beating would ever happen because every teacher has that heavy stick. And they controlled the school at that time. But I don't know, in your time they did that? Or
When I was in 4th grade, Mr. Astle, we called him Asshole behind his back, Mr. Astle, the principal, and Moretti, they had paddles in their office right on the wall that said, they paddle your ass. The former district boss who blamed the father, he actually blamed the victims and the father, this piece of crap right here. He was fired, but he's still getting paid. He'll be getting paid $190,000 this year to sit at home. Where can I sign up for that one? Where can I sign up for that one? Thank you so much, Thickety Wickets.
how you doing?
Joe, Thickety Wickets is here.
How you doing?
How you doing, Thickety? He'll call you Clickety Clacky, or he'll change it. Look at this, Joe. Look at this. Look at those puppies.
How you doing, puppies?
Hi, puppies. Joe, you know, if you're a dog walker, and my friend is one, in New York City, charge $30 to $40 for a half hour to walk that dog. And if you're smart, you don't walk one dog. You walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Walk 7 at a time. That's a $200 walk right there, my friends. But it says, watch your step. Walking around the big crapple, not the big apple, the big crapple, Joe, is tracking poop into your home. A new study shows that city sidewalks may be filthier than you realize. Joe, how often do you walk down the street and see a big pile of dog poop?
Once in a while. Once in a while.
Once every 4 minutes? I saw a dog poop on the way here.
Yeah, but some people don't care. And mostly they care. They clean up.
You carry a little, you walk your dog, you carry a little thing of baggies in your pocket, you pick up the poop and you throw it out.
Yeah, a few people are careless, but mostly they do.
Well, crapshoot. Curb your dog signs are no match for NYC. The pack of animals, a study suggests canine fecal matter is being tracked inside. Get home, take your shoes off.
Yes.
Don't walk in with your shoes on. You're going to be walking in with poop. Cop is held in a Louisiana sleigh. Joe, we talked about this last week. A white Louisiana police officer, I'm going to say that the victim was black or they wouldn't have mentioned white. That's what they do. A white Louisiana police officer has been arrested for shooting and killing an unarmed black man. This is unfortunately all too common. This is horrible. Who was trying to run away during a domestic call.
Yeah.
After reviewing body cam footage, state troopers charged Shreveport officer Alexander Tyler with negligent homicide in the February 3rd death of 43-year-old Alonzo Bagley. Two officers responded to the disturbance in the 911 call. A person who identified herself as Bagley's wife said her husband was loaded on something and threatened her and her daughter. Then the police came in and shot him in the back. You know, a lot of my Caucasian friends don't realize that many black and brown fathers and mothers have to have that talk. Kamala Harris has talked about it. Obama has talked about it. The talk that you have to have with your child. The talk means if you're driving your car and you're pulled over by a police officer, do not take your hands off the steering wheel. Do not reach in the glove box or in your pocket for your ID. This is the talk. The talk is to save your life in case, for some reason, an overzealous officer, decides to shoot you for reaching in your glove box. I don't know how many times it's happened in my life. One day, some of my friends who were pretty big shots, they were E40's manager. E40's a huge rapper from the Bay Area. E40's manager is a dear friend of mine. Chauncey Banks is a dear friend of mine as well. They came to New York. They just bought a brand new Mercedes. They were from California. They bought the Mercedes in Philadelphia or something. They came to New York. They called me from outside my apartment. They said, you got to see the car. They're going to come stay with me for a few days. We got in the car. We drove around through Times Square. No drugs, no alcohol, no nothing. We pulled up on my block. We got out, and within 2 seconds, both of them were on the hood of the car. Chauncey was stripped naked down to his boxer shorts. The cops had guns to their heads. The cops had the little thing around their neck. I sat in the back seat. I got out. I could have had a damn nuclear bomb. They never searched me. Chauncey's black. RJ's white, but he has Latino features. Had a dark goatee with a baseball cap on. They had Chauncey spread eagle on the front on the car, and it was horrible. They said, "Where are you coming from?" Chauncey said, "California." They thought he was being smart, so they started roughing him up. I'm standing there, nothing. I was never searched. They didn't even look at me. They didn't seem to care about me. I'm like, what the hell? Anyways, long story short, a black and a Hispanic had just slit the throat of somebody 1 block away, and we, meaning them, fit the description. I never forgot it. I never felt so ashamed of white privilege in my life. Here I have two of my best friends. One is on the damn car, down to his, they got him to humiliate him. They got him in his boxer shorts on the hood of the car. And the other one, RJ, the driver, who looked Hispanic, they got him all handcuffed. And me, they never even did this to me, nothing. And it's just horrific. And I've seen this. It's called systemic racism. It doesn't mean the cops hate black people. It means they are fearful, and they are, and some do hate black and brown people. They are fearful, and they treat people differently. I'll never forget how bad I felt that day, telling my friends how sorry I was. I was crying. Chauncey, the nicest human being on the planet, in his underwear, stripped on a damn hood of a car. Joe, your pitcher's back with one leg.
Yeah.
So having that talk, and Chauncey didn't even get smart. He was just like, it was horrible. It was horrible. Joe, there was a fatal stabbing in New Jersey at a basketball game. A man was stabbed dead on a New Jersey area at a high school basketball tournament was being played there. That's horrible. The incident at the C-U-R-E Insurance Arena in Trenton occurred around 8:30 Thursday, according to Mercer County prosecutors. Khalil Glanton, 22, of Trenton, was stabbed multiple times and taken to the hospital.
What's his name? Khalil?
Yeah, Khalil Glanton. Guy went out to play some basketball, got stabbed up either because he was good or he was talking crap. I don't think anybody should be stabbed for playing basketball. Guys, this is Kim Kardashian. If you know her number, I'd appreciate it if you just give me a call on the hotline. I need to talk to her. It's urgent. Urgent. I would like to adopt her 5 kids.
5 kids?
Fetterman. This is the guy that ran as a Democrat. The problem is, Joe, he had a really bad stroke. He won anyways, but now he's been hospitalized. He's going to be there at least a month. He has very, very severe health issues. And I think being a senator or anybody in this climate would add a lot of stress to that. I want to thank all 50 of you for coming in today. I appreciate you so much. We're going to start doing a thing where we share the live. If you have a friend that's on YouTube, if you have a friend that's on Facebook, and you want to just copy the link now and send it to them, I'd appreciate it. I'd like to give you shout outs for sharing the live. We're going to grow the channel the old-fashioned way. Also, if we get 100 subscribers today, Joe's going to take his shirt off for the ladies. Joe, are you going to take your shirt off today?
They get scared if I take my shirt off.
They might. I once went to a beach in Atlantic City, and I took my shirt off, and I had at least 11 people puke. That was not good for my... Joe's got 8 pigeons over here. Each one's crippled. Joe, why do all the crippled pigeons like you, Joe?
I feed them because they know I'm the only one to eat them.
That's Joe's crippled crew right there. They're all old and decrepit like me and Joe. Justice Department searched an office of Mike Pence. Listen, it happened to Trump. He had 220 classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago home when he said he did. Biden had 2 documents, still bad, not comparing the amount, shouldn't have any, in his garage at his home in Connecticut. Well, for some reason, Pence, who went out and actually condemned Trump when it happened, very few did, he said, it's outrageous, you shouldn't have these documents. Well, he's got quite a few himself. They're subpoenaing his ass. The Justice Department searched the office of former President Mike Pence, his nonprofit group, Friday, and confiscated 3 more documents, which were marked as classified. This is about the 9th search of his properties they've done. They found documents at all of them. All right, I'm not going to do a Donald Trump story today. 3 injured in rescue trapped firefighters. Oh boy, how horrible is that, Joe? 3 injured in rescue of trapped firefighters. Look at this. By the way, there's the American flag. There's old Betsy. There's look at this building. Look at how many firefighters are there. Shout out to New York's bravest, Joe. You used to have a store right next to the firefighters. How were they, Joe, as people?
All of them.
All 15 of the people that used to go to Joe's store died. Joe, was your store still up when it happened? Was your store closed then?
No, I closed down. Actually, the whole building went down. But
22, yeah.
They built the skyscraper now.
It is a skyscraper. 22 city firefighters were injured on Friday, 3 seriously, when part of a home collapsed. Staten Island, Joe. Shout out to all the fire rescuers and the first responders, and God bless them. Oh boy. Joe, that is a Jeff Koons balloon. If you know anything about a Jeff Koons balloon, they're worth tens of millions of dollars. There's a Jeff Koons balloon, and there is the Jeff Koons balloon. Look at that, Joe. There it is, worth tens of millions of dollars. There it is, broken and shattered on the floor. Uh-oh. It wasn't a real balloon. A Miami gallery patron knocked over a Koons pup off its pedestal, but someone offered to buy the pieces on the spot. Can you imagine, Joe? Someone offered to buy the broken pieces because it's a Jeff Koons balloon. Some of his balloons go for $100 million, Joe. I'm going to let you know what this one went for because it don't go for that no more. That's a small one, a little tiny one. Lucky for the art collector, you break it, you buy it. Did not apply. A woman admiring a $42,000 balloon sculpture by world-renowned artist Jeff Koons accidentally knocked over the pricey piece, which shattered on the floor. The 2-decade-old work of art met its unfortunate end. How embarrassing would that be? You go in, Joe, and you knock over. First of all, I'm shocked that it's $42,000. There's no scale here for size, but I'm assuming that it was small. I'm assuming it was the size of the book. Because Jeff Koons, his ones that go for $10 million, Joe, $100 million, those are 20 feet long, 30 feet long. This is a little teeny tiny one.
I give him $10 for it.
Joe will give you $10. If you're listening, Joe will give you $10.
Oh, what can I do with it?
I have to sneeze.
God bless you.
Pardon me. I'm sorry. Thank you, Joe. I have one more that's kind of hanging there. It's like, Bo, you got to sneeze. You're like looking at the sun. Let me sneeze. It's no Booger Saturday, Joe. All right. Anyways, it was the smash sculpture was a miniature version of the 12-foot balloon dog sculpture. The 12-footers go for tens of millions of dollars, Joe. It's no Booger Saturday. There it is. It's Booger Wipe Saturday, Joe. More lights out for Cuba. Joe, where's Cuba?
You know what Cuba is.
No, I don't. It's in the ocean.
South of Florida, in the Caribbean.
I did not know that. Well, I knew it was by Florida. It's 90 miles from Florida. I didn't know it was the Caribbean. Rolling blackouts will continue in Cuba and continue to until May. How do you predict that there's going to be rolling blackouts till May? They will last 3 hours on average. They've got a really old infrastructure there, Joe. I have not been to Cuba, but when you go to Cuba, Joe, I have YouTube.
You have all
when you
the
go to
classic
Cuba,
cars.
all the cars are classic. It's not because they're classic car collectors. It's because they don't have imports of new cars.
And
they're driving down the street in a 55 Chevy in a Nomad.
They keep fixing them.
They will continue to fix it, and you'll see hundreds, thousands of cars from because in the 50s, Joe,
beautiful
before we shut them down or cut them off in the 50s, it was a beautiful oasis to travel. You're 90 minutes away in Florida, so you take a little boat over there or an airplane, and all the mobsters would go there, and so you would have these beautiful casinos and all this, and then due to their revolution and Castro and
you're in Batista time.
Who?
That was Batista, the dictator.
Okay.
I forgot. That's a long time ago. 60 years ago, 65 years ago.
60 years ago, I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
Putin's locomotive, I don't care. Let's see what's going on here with Brad Pitt.
How you doing, Brad?
Hi, Brad Pitt. Oily waters in Ohio. Joe, have you been following this Ohio train wreck?
Yeah, they said sometimes they have to watch out because it might be a hit with the
Well, the plane crashed. That's not a beautiful painting. That's oily ass water with a reflection. The train crashed, Joe, and it's full of chemicals. It's been burning for a week or two, and people are getting sick. Animals are dying, and a disturbing video shows what appears to be a contaminated creek in Ohio. You're a fish swimming around in the creek, and then all of a sudden oil and contamination is there. It's over for you, bro.
Yeah.
Joe, do you know what the dark web is?
No.
Okay. I'm glad you didn't lie, Joe, because I was going to call you out. The dark web, Joe, is the internet not the Google thing that we do, the Gogol, as Joe calls it. The dark web, you can get anything you want on there. I'm talking anything from drugs to child prostitution to hit money for hire hits. It's I've never been in there, don't even know how to get there. Don't want to go there. But one of the largest ever dark web drug peddling operations, raked in $7.2 million through cryptocurrency exchange, has been shut down by the Queen's ringleader. It's Queen's ringleader and 4 other stars. You could go on there, Joe. Could you imagine going in the newspaper and advertising, I got cocaine for sale, call Bob at 212. Can't do it. But in the dark web, you can. And they sell anything you can get your hands on. Joe, if you need a dime bag, Joe, I'll get you covered. R. Kelly's trial is finally closing, Joe. I think he was convicted the first time. I predicted he'd get 25 years. I think he got 22, but there was about 8 more cases against him. R. Kelly, probably at the time, the most famous singer in the world, R&B singer, worth $100 million easily. Robert Kelly, he couldn't read or write as a child, Joe. He had severe dyslexia. He came from the hardest parts of Chicago. He ended up having #1 hits. I believe I can fly. He's a huge, huge songwriter. I don't know if he wrote them, but a song performer and just a brilliant, beautiful voice. Came from nothing to become one of the biggest in the world, Joe. He had a penchant for young girls. So he would do his shows and he would be out there having his assistants and his homies looking for 14 and 15-year-old girls in the crowd. And a lot of times they're with their dad or their mom. And he would go up and he'd say, oh my God, are you fans? And the dad would say, yes. He goes, well, I appreciate that. I'd like your daughter to come on tour with me. And the dad would go, you got it. I don't understand how that works. But he sexually assaulted, I don't say allegedly because he was convicted, dozens and dozens. And then Joe, he had this thing where he would like to videotape them. That's a sick souvenir of some sort. And Joe would say he's a sicko, a sickie. He would keep the souvenirs, and that's what got him. It wasn't so much the word of mouth. It's hard to convict on word of mouth. And a lot of the girls, Joe, they're madly in love with him. So they say nothing happened. Nothing happened. We never slept together. Well, disgraced R&B singer R. Kelly is nothing but a sexual predator who used his fame to prey on underage girls, said federal prosecutors. Speaking during closing arguments at his month-long trial in Chicago. Remember, he was already convicted in New York. For abusing a 14-year-old goddaughter who previously gave damning testimony against him. Her name is Jane Doe. That child, who had no prior sexual experiences in her life, was forced to lay on that floor with that man sitting right over there urinating on her. That was another thing. He liked golden showers, Joe. Anyways, he is looking at about life in prison. So whatever he gets, he deserves. Deadly Pakistan attack on cops. Islamists stormed a police station in Karachi. Is that the capital, Joe?
Capital of Pakistan.
The capital of Pakistan is Karachi. They killed at least 2 people in a hail of gunfire. That's horrible. Hey, you guys want to see what the blimps look like? That is... the fan and all that's part of the boat. It's underneath there that counts. The Navy secures the fly spy. The U.S. military has completed its recovery of a Chinese balloon. We don't care about that one. We all know what that one was. I want to know what the other 3 were that they can't identify. I don't know. I don't care. Let's just keep it moving. Third rape rap against LSU attacker. LSU is Louisiana State University, I believe, Joe. A man accused of raping
Louisiana
LSU student Madison Brooks and a 12-year-old girl has been charged in a third rape. I hope he goes to prison for the rest of his life. Here's a Joe exclusive. This is a Jordan Joe exclusive. I want you to stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. Look funny. Still, I'm getting money. I don't even know what song that is. Oh, it's your chance to do the hump. Come on, baby. Tanisha's here. Tanisha's here. Hi,
How you doing,
Tanisha.
Tanisha?
Listen to this, Joe. 6 dead in rural Mississippi shooting spree.
Yeah.
And guys, it's 6 people killed in a shooting spree, and it's on page 25 of the Post, Joe. Because it's no longer, it's every day. Now's your chance to do the hump. Come on, baby. Do the Humpty Hump. Joe, can you do the Humpty Hump? I want to see Joe do the Humpty Hump. 6 dead in rural Mississippi spree. 6 people were killed and another wounded Friday after a gunman went on a rampage through a rural Mississippi town targeting both relatives and strangers. A 52-year-old suspect identified as Richard Dale Crum is believed to have acted alone and was arrested. Usually they kill themselves, Joe, because they're coward, douchebag, loser scum. This guy was arrested. Have fun in prison the rest of your life, creep.
Mississippi is he won't live.
They have the
chair. Yeah.
All right. The bloodbath began when Crum, his name's Crum.
He didn't care anyhow. He wants to die. So
he pulled into a gas station, fired into the car next to him, killing the driver but leaving the passenger unharmed. The gunman then ran to the store before leaving the gas station but drove straight to his ex-wife's home. Once there, he killed his ex-wife and physically struck her fiancé. He then barged into the neighbor's house and allegedly slaughtered 2 people inside, the victims, a man and woman. I can't even with that
this
joke.
is terrible.
For the second day in a row, we had Terminal 1 JFK chaos.
They have blackout.
Beleaguered passengers faced chaos at JFK Airport on Friday for a second day when dozens of flights were scrapped after a power outage. That's a Jordan Joe exclusive. Wow. Joe, where do you get all your news from?
Well, I read when I go home, and I get some news. In Germany, they have the airport are actually there is no flight to Germany for 2 days because there is a strike in the airport, mostly Frankfurt airport, and Munich airport, and so forth. They are on strike. So you will see no passenger coming from Germany for a couple of days.
Well, Joe, this one here is a very tricky story because people turn up missing all the time, but when a billionaire does, it's always a problem. A Chinese billionaire named Bao Fan, one of China's most high-profile bankers, billionaire investor Bao Fan, has gone missing, marking the latest disappearance of billionaires in that country. I think the governments like that, Joe, they kidnap you, kill you, and keep your money, keep your assets. China Renaissance Holdings said its market update Thursday that it has been unable to contact its chairman and CEO. By the way, if you follow the trail of dead bodies with Putin, all of his big oligarchs you know how they die typically, Joe? They fall out of a building. And one of his most high-profile women oligarchs, right hands, just fell 56 stories to her death yesterday. It's just another Putin ex-compatriot falling out of a window. Joe, I'm 60. I've never fell out of a window before. Not no New York skyscraper. Knock on wood. Hello, Dali. Salvador Dali, Joe, was a painter. He was a surrealist. He painted these really weird melting clocks and different things. He also had a crazy-ass mustache. He was a very, very strange person. But his pieces go for millions of dollars. Well, Spanish police have recovered 200-year-old drawings by surrealist painter Salvador Dali that were stolen last year in a burglary in Barcelona. You steal them, Joe. You steal these multi-million-dollar pieces. They're hard to move because...
You can't sell them.
Who are you going to sell it to? You got to get someone who is a very wealthy person who's going to keep it in the dark the rest of their life.
Because the police all around the world are looking
They're looking for it. I can't just show up with a Salvador Dali. This is a frigid new trend. I don't like it. But you get in the bathtub with ice. Ice, baby. Doom, 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 doom. Plunging into an ice bath in the middle of an unforgiving New York City winter? Not me. Not me, baby. Hey, Joe. It's about time that I bust a rhyme. I'm not bust a rhyme, but when I bust a rhyme, I'm here to let you know that we're about to flow. It's time for the Jordan Joe Show, so let's go.
Well, if you were born on this day...
If you were born today, on this day
okay.
you weren't, but if you were.
If you... this is happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Nobody was, but if they were.
You have come a long way in a relatively short space of time.
I don't know what I can't even hear them. I'm sitting
now
right next.
You must double your effort and go even further. A Mercury-Jupiter link on your birthday will open your mind to ideas that can transform your life on multiple levels.
Church, Joe, I want you to pick two. Just pick two. Any two you want.
Aquarius is okay?
Yeah, I don't know. This is a Jordan Joe Show. Pick another one, Joe.
Aquarius and what? Leo?
Why you say it with a question mark?
I got it.
Can you throw a Cancer in there, Joe, as a bonus?
I got a Cancer too.
Kevin Butler? He called you Kevin Butler.
How are you, Kevin?
We're going to do the Cancer. Everybody else, we got to get you tomorrow.
Aquarius.
Joe, did you know that we're in the dawning of the age of Aquarius?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Okay. Well, this is your day, Aquarius. The sun moves out of your birth sign this weekend, and the first big change you must make is not to be so wasteful with your resources. Planning for the future is not an option, but a must.
That's
especially where your finances are concerned. Take care of your money for the bad days.
Take care of your money. Does anybody want to buy a watch? Anybody want to buy a watch? I could get at least 3 meals with this watch. At least 3. What else you got, Joe?
All right, Leo. If you get the impression that you are being left out of things, you must speak up and let friends and family members know you are not happy about it. Dialogue is essential if you want them to know why you believe you have been hard done by.
I need an interpreter. I need an interpreter. Right?
Cancer.
Say it, Joe. Say it. That's a moron. Joe, say we have cancer. That's your tagline. We have the cancer.
If you were born from June 22nd to July 23rd.
Come on, playboy. Look like a moron with your stupid little motorcycle bike. It's bad when Joe calls somebody. I'm a douchebag! Rah, 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 rah.
Cancer, okay. As the sun moves into your fellow water sign of Pisces, this weekend you will be up for just about anything. If you have the confidence to try new things and visit new places, you could discover something truly amazing. New adventures await you.
Says plus possible blowjobs. Joe, I don't find that. That's not appropriate, Joe. How dare you? How dare you, Joe?
Well, hold your tongue. Don't
Hold your
say
tongue.
Bad language.
That was bad language. I apologize. I
Taurus.
thought that's what it said, Joe.
The Taurus. Taurus. How you doing, Mr. Taurus?
How you
If
doing,
you were
Mr.
born and from April 21 to May 21, you will be inclined to act on the assumption that not everyone has your best interest at heart this weekend.
That's fast.
And that maybe well be the best choice to make. Sometimes it pays to be suspicious, and this is certainly one of those times.
That's facts. I'll agree with everything you said, but I didn't hear it. I don't know what you said.
What happened in Mr.
Joe,
Scorpio?
did you do birthdays today, Joe?
I hope so. Well, let me
hope
see.
so.
Let me see.
I hope not.
We are on the 18th.
That is facts. 218, Joe.
Okay, this is sometimes it's a strange names, but they come out. They are actually very important names.
When Joe prefaces it
If you
like
go
that,
to
it's gonna be
history
shit.
in the 18th century, actually, the first guy to invent the batteries, you know the batteries.
Yeah.
Well, his name is Alessandro Volta,
Why do you hate me, Joe? What did I do?
a great inventor. And until today, everything run with the battery.
Everything.
Cars, aeroplanes,
Glasses.
rockets. You need that. Right. Enzo Ferrari.
Enzo Ferrari was one of the founders of Ferrari, the
Correct.
car. Enzo
Correct.
was the daddy. There's
Correct.
been about 6 Ferraris, some grandkids and stuff. I don't know. I think Enzo was the first.
The founder
The founder.
of Ferrari Motor Company. George Kennedy. Who is George Kennedy?
George Kennedy was a phenomenal actor in the 70s.
Correct.
You know him from a bunch of movies. I think he was in Poseidon Adventure.
Airport.
He was in Airport, of course. He was not the comedy Airports, but Airport. He was in the Clint Eastwood. God, what was the name of the damn Clint Eastwood? Where he the money was behind the chalkboard of a schoolhouse. And George Kennedy, Clint Eastwood. George Kennedy, I also believe, was in Paul Newman's where he ate all the damn eggs. I can't focus. Joe's got the damn sun creeping in. Look at that sun back there. There it is. I'm trying to keep what was the what we have here is a failure to communicate. What movie was that, Joe?
All right. Today on this day,
Cool Hand Luke.
Yoko One was born.
Yoko One was born. Do you know who Yoko One was, Joe?
John Lennon.
That is correct. Her name was Yoko Ono. She's still alive. I met her.
She's 90 years
I
old.
met her in Central Park. Me and my buddy were out there smoking a joint. Now, this was 30-something years ago. We're sitting there, and here comes Yoko Ono walking by with an old-ass white guy, probably a lawyer or maybe a new boyfriend. I don't know. And she was just really super sweet. Hi. And Yoko Ono. I got to meet Yoko Ono. What a lot of people don't realize, Joe, is Yoko Ono, most people say she was the reason that the Beatles broke up. And just about every Beatle said that's not the truth. They were a young group, 20-somethings, and they became the biggest group in the history of the world, Joe. A lot of egos between Lennon and McCartney. I think Ringo was going to drum for whoever. He didn't care. But they ended up breaking up. Joe saw him in Germany standing on a balcony with long hair.
The first months they came out, I saw.
Back then, long hair was...
They were young, about 18, 19.
Yeah. And she loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. That was the movie. Thickety. Joe, give Thickety an iPad.
How you doing?
Hi, Thickety. Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, one of my favorite George Kennedy movies. Anyway, Joe, what they say is that she was responsible for breaking up the Beatles. It's not true. Most of them say it's not true. It's just something that the people ran with. Also, Joe, what a lot of people don't know is when John Lennon, who was a man who died, a man of peace and love, and all imagine there's no heaven. Apparently, she had wrote most of that with her. Those were her philosophies. She was the woman of peace and understanding and compassion and kindness, and John Lennon came along and adopted much of that from her. So it's well known. Anybody in the business will say that she was the Imagine album did not happen without her. So shout out to Yoko One.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Yoko One.
Alan Johnson.
God.
You know who's he?
I never heard of him,
He's
Joe.
stage manager. If you remember, producer.
He was a stage manager.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
All right. Bobby Hart.
Bobby Hart.
He was a pop singer.
You're
I
really
don't think he's
scraping
that
the barrel,
famous.
Joe.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
John Travolta.
John Travolta. What do you know about him, Joe?
Well, you know who's he.
I do, but I want to know what you know about him.
Great.
John Travolta, you guys know him probably first from Vinnie Barbarino.
Was he first dancer? Or
He was his first major movie. He had other movies, but his first major movie that catapulted him into the limelight was Saturday Night Fever, where he played Johnny, whatever the hell his name, Danny Terrio. I can't remember the hell his name. Danny Terrio taught him all the moves. Danny Terrio was a real person. What the hell was his name on Saturday Night Fever? But you know him from, he was the boy in the plastic bubble. That's streaming, which Vinny's going way back. But he's a Brooklyn guy, so Vinny actually knows where they filmed Saturday Night Fever. You can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman man, no time to talk. And you can't hunt with a house. And anyways, I knew him first from Vinnie Barbarino, Welcome Back, Connor. And when I first moved to New York, Joe, I was walking in my neighborhood right here in Hell's Kitchen, and I ran into Horseshack, Arnold Horseshack, and we became very, very close, almost best friends. Very, very close friends. Mr. Carter! Mr. Carter! And I heard so many young John Travolta stories. John Travolta went on to play in lots of stuff. His career was pretty much, of course, Grease. Grease is a word, is a word, is a notion. Grease was absolutely brilliant. And the guy did his own thing. You're the one that I want. Ooh, do, honey. I was in a Grease play back in camp. Anyways, long story short, Joe, his career pretty much died after that. He was typecast, couldn't get anything. And believe it or not, he was cast in Pulp Fiction, and that brought him back. His acting in Pulp Fiction was absolutely brilliant. The movie was brilliant. Quentin Tarantino has a habit of pulling people back, people that may not be getting the work that they deserve. And long story short, John Travolta now, he makes a lot of really crappy movies, but the guy has made some brilliant movies, and I'm very, very happy to wish him a happy birthday.
69 years old.
69.
Dr. Dre. Who is Dr. Dre?
Dr. Dre? Dr. Dre is Andre Young, coming straight out of Compton. A young brother with attitude. Check the longitude, check the latitude.
Yeah.
Pointing gas at you. Andre Young was the first stepped on the scene, and one of my favorite songs was Before You Put Out the Lights. He was in a group. You start getting old, you forget you. Before You Turn Out the Lights. It was Michelle A, him, Michelle A, and it was just some really hokey R&B thing. He ended up hooking up with Eazy-E, Ice Cube, MC Ren, DJ Yella, performing NWA, I can't say the name of it, N-Words with Attitude. They went on to become the biggest hip-hop group in the 80s of all time. Yes, Valerie, I do not, I have completely abandoned my support of Dr. Dre for the abuse, not only that he caused upon Michelle A, but the abuse that he caused so many others, women in the thing. It was a world-class wrecking crew. Look at Iowa Oaks digging in the crates, calling Dr. Dre to surgery. Those were the joints before he became NWA. And then once he became NWA, him, Ice Cube, Ren, Yella, and Easy went on, and I got to see them twice in concert. They were absolutely brilliant. Shout out to Dr. Dre's birthday again. He's also the first billionaire in music, in hip hop, Joe, because he started with Jimmy Iovine. He started, first of all, he discovered Eminem, and then Eminem discovered 50. All of that's under the umbrella of Aftermath, his record label, with Jimmy Iovine. And we went one day to Jimmy Iovine, and he said, hey, I want to design some sneakers. And Jimmy Iovine goes, why? He goes, oh, everybody's putting out sneakers. 50 Cent has sneakers. This one has sneakers. That one has sneakers. Jay-Z has sneakers. I want sneakers. You're not known for sneakers. You're not known for athletics. You're known for music. They made Beats. Am I wearing Beats today? I don't think I am. No, I'm not. I have about 40 pairs of Beats. It's another horrible phobia of mine, is besides my watches and my Jordans, I love headphones. He ended up making Beats, Joe. Beats was a headphone that took off, and they became a billion-dollar company. It was sold. He got half of his half, which was $1.6 billion or something. So he became the first guy in hip-hop to become a billionaire. That's facts. Look it up.
Well, yesterday, we missed yesterday Jim Brown birthday yesterday.
Jim Brown, considered the greatest running back of all time. The guy averaged, in order to get a first down in football, Joe, you get 4 tries. You got to go 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, and then a yard to get the ball back, to get another 4 down. He was averaging 4.5 yards or something. By the way, Jim Brown, who was a very devoted civil rights activist, he retired when he was like 30 years old, 34 years old or something, Joe. He had the whole world ahead of him. No one's ever done it since then. Jim Brown, I don't know what the cops are doing behind him. They're arresting someone. Jim Brown, Joe, quit at the height of his popularity. He would have been hands down the greatest of all time. He's still considered that. Went into acting and doing a bunch of other stuff besides his civil rights. What else you got, Joe?
Michael Jordan. Oh, birthday yesterday was, because we missed Michael.
Do you know what
Jordan.
number he was, Joe?
I think
He was number 23, Joe.
23.
He was drafted by the Bulls. He is considered by just about every human being on the planet the greatest basketball player who ever lived. Unfortunately, Joe, he didn't do the stuff off the court. He didn't build no schools. He's the richest. He's over a billionaire. He got most of his money through his endorsement deals with Coca-Cola, McDonald's, any of that, and of course Jordan's shoes. I wear Jordans, I don't know, 5-6 days a week. And he is a very, very, very wealthy man. And he was all defensive player, all offensive player. He led the league in 10 years. 10 years he led the league in scoring. LeBron did it once. He led the league in defense, I think, 5 years. It's impossible to lead in both categories. Michael Jordan, just don't let him fool you. LeBron has more points. But Jordan won 6 championships. 6 tries, 6 championships. Never lost a championship. Michael Jordan is absolutely brilliant, except LeBron is building schools. LeBron is helping put thousands of kids through college. I don't know that Michael Jordan ever put one kid through high school. It just wasn't his thing. He refused to get involved in any kind of politics in Chicago. He refused to help in any way of anything. You can't Google Michael Jordan helping anyone. Not a knock on Michael Jordan at all. It's a knock on what he did off the court, why he will never be considered the greatest person in basketball. People like Kareem, who dedicated his life to social justice and to racism, anti-racism. People like LeBron James, who took $100 million of his own dollars and built schools and has helped people through his whole career. Those are the ones that you will be reading about. It won't be Michael Jordan off the court, unfortunately. What else you got, Joe?
On the dead, we have today Martin Luther.
Who?
Who is Martin Luther?
Well, there's Martin Luther King Jr.
The founder of the Protestant
I knew it wasn't the one
faith.
I was talking about. Martin Luther,
Protestant
God bless him.
faith.
He's a saint of something. He's a Lutheran church, I guess. Not to be confused with I Had a Dream.
Okay.
Michelangelo, Joe.
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo,
He
considered
died
one
on
of the
this day.
one of the greatest painters of all time. He painted the Sistine Chapel, not the 16th Chapel, the Sistine Chapel, the roof. Painted his paintings, Joe, go for hundreds of millions of dollars. He could literally spit on a piece of paper, and it would go for that. Joe, we're getting ready
Somebody
to lose.
is enjoying his money after he's dead.
Joe, we're getting ready to lose our thing. So.
We have Charles Tiffany, founder of Tiffany Company. Okay.
All right.
Frank James.
Frank James was the brother of Jesse James, the older brother of
correct.
Jesse James. Guys, just so you know, our battery is completely dead. We will see you tomorrow. Please be kind and loving to each other. Joe's going to finish off. If I don't get to say goodbye, God bless you.
Oppenheimer, the father of the atom bomb, Robert Oppenheimer,
All right.
died on this day. Frank Costello is a gangster.
Frank Costello was a gangster. I believe he was murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah, live by the
he
gun,
was
die
dead.
by the gun.
All right. Frank James was James Young
Did-
gang.
He was,
the head of James.
Joe, I just wanted to do this last one. I'll probably get cut off. I can't even see the screen. I don't know if I'm
I don't want to interfere.
This guy here, Joe, earthquake victim. This is a beautiful story out of the earthquake, Joe. He was buried for 10 days. There's his wife. Looks like she's slapping him in his face. She's not. Buried for 10 days, Joe. They saved his life, and there's his wife holding his child. He had never seen his child. His child was born 12 days ago. He didn't see the child before the earthquake. Turkey earthquake survivor Mustafa Avik.
10 days or 12 days?
He was buried for 10 days, but the baby was born 12 days ago. He did not see the baby before the earthquake. He lived in rubble for 10 days. He is now home, safe in the hospital, and there's his wife holding his little bundle of joy. It's a girl. It looks like she's slapping the shit out of him right there. Where were you? But he is alive, and he's going to be able to see his baby. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Please be kind and loving to each other. Make sure you share the live with your friends. Unless you hate Joe.
Likewise.
Why do you hate Joe so much?
Have a nice day, everybody.
Treating. What did Joe ever do to you? He's a nice guy.
How are you?
Ambrose, what do you hate Joe
How are you,
for?
Ambrose?
The only one I said, it says David Young. David Young likes Joe, but not that much. I
How are
like
you,
Joe, but not
Imran?
that
How
much.
is everything?
You keep saying hi to Imran. Imran ain't been in the channel for 3 years. Joe have a flashback.
Hi, Joe. How are you, Hernandez?
Hi, Hernandez. Hi, Close.
Revlin, how is everything?
Alfred Clue sent me the most beautiful pens, writing pens that say kindness and love. And,
Where is it?
they're at home. I got one for you and one for me. I'll bring